In that Secret Lives of Teenagers study, we did find the males also, there were things parents didn't know about. But in general, as I recall, the levels of parents not knowing were generally lower than they were for girls. In the sense that, for example, did you realize you were gay? 60% of the males say their parents didn't know, 90% of the girls said their parents didn't know. You're afraid of people at school. The boys, I think it was higher among the girls not knowing. So there was a lot of secret life of kids going on in both genders, that's very clear. I mean, one of the ones I remember was, were you arrested? And something like 15% of the boys said they were arrested, and something like 65% say their parents never knew, which is astounding in a way, but is testimony to this. This study began because of Dylan Klebold, one of the school shooters in Columbine, at the Columbine school shooting. And when we interviewed his parents, it was really striking that they didn't know a lot about Dylan, but it really wasn't because they had their heads in the sand. It was much more that he was so effective at creating this false persona that represented to the parents, and he was really a genius at it. And it wasn't just his parents. He and Eric Harris they were caught stealing something from a truck, and they were put in a diversion program. So they saw a probation officer for months, and at the end he gave them both A+, and wrote, these are good boys who just did a stupid thing. During that same period was when they were buying their guns and building their bombs and planning their attack, and they completely fooled that guy, and he's a professional. When I've talked about this Secret Life of Teenagers studies, often someone will come up afterwards and tell a story like this. The guy once said to me, what you said about the Secret Life of Teenagers is, 2 months ago I went to the state capitol and the governor handed me Drug Counselor of the Year award. And 4 weeks ago I found out my son's been on heroin for 6 months. That even professional training isn't an absolute protection against this, because some kids are so good, and because of the nature of the parent-child relationship, it's very hard to embrace certain possibilities. It's easier as a professional, easier as a teacher, because you don't have the same emotional investment, but it can be very, very difficult to do. And there's certainly a lot of studies with young children, Steve Cece's work, for example, to make it very clear that most adults, even professionals, cannot reliably tell which children are lying and which ones aren't. And he has videotapes that he shows, and okay, here's 2 kids, which one is lying? And nobody reliably gets it right. And the only difference is that the cops are really sure that they're getting it right. So their confidence is way off the charts, but their validity is no better than anybody else, which is one reason why there are a lot of people falsely imprisoned for crimes. Some of them, we've gotten to meet over the years.